Good morning everyone, it is day 0 of week 23 or day 7 of week 22 depending on which you prefer or which way you actually look at it. I've had a bit of bad news this morning, but it's not in regards to baby. Baby's fine, baby's still moving. I've had a bit of bad news in the sense that obviously I'm trying to learn sign language. I'm learning sign language level 2. I was hoping to start learning sign language level 2 this month or next month, and I was signed on to a course that was due to start on the 1st of October. However, I've just had an email to say that the course is no longer going ahead because there was only 3 people in total booked onto the course, including myself, so it wasn't physically viable for the course to go ahead. So because of that, I'm now stuck on a back burner again for 6 months, and the problem is the course was aware that I am pregnant and that I am due to give birth in January, and the next course that I can get on is due to start in January, which is not ideal, to be honest. So if I'm already halfway through the course when I give birth, it's fine, I just miss a couple of lessons and then carry on. However, if I am at the point of giving birth, I don't know when the birth will take place. I don't know if they'll be on time, I don't know if they'll be late, and to only have maybe 1 or 2 lessons and then have to miss 2 lessons. The first 10 lessons are the most important because that's where you learn the most. After those first 10 to 15 lessons, it's mostly just refresher and getting ready for your exams, building up your confidence, building up your skills. I don't really want to miss the first few lessons, so it's not ideal. It's a really annoying and frustrating situation, if I'm being honest, but there's nothing really I can do about it right now. It is irritating and it's frustrating because this is now the second time I've tried to get onto a level 2 course for sign language, and the second time that either I've not been contacted from the wait list that I've been on, or it's the second time where the course has been cancelled on me. So it's really frustrating. It's really freaking frustrating, but it can't be helped. It literally can't be helped. It doesn't look like I'm going to be able to do my BSL level 2 until September next year, potentially at the earliest, which is irritating. I don't really know what to do right now. I don't know whether or not to just try and learn what I can on my own and build my confidence up so that when I go into the actual course I can just whiz through it, or whether or not to basically stick with YouTube and voiceover for now, see where it takes me, and then hopefully by next year when baby's a bit older I can start doing a level 2 course. I just don't know. Coco wants her favourite game. She wants to play Find the Treat. I'm coming! I'm coming! Yeah, bit of an irritating start to the week, but hey ho. A more positive note, I've got my whooping cough vaccine tomorrow. Finally. It took me ages to get it booked in with the GP. We finally got our whooping cough vaccine booked in. Thank you, Enzo. Right, hang on. First things first. First things first. Welcome. Get into the clearing. Right. Right, first things first. Distract the Enzo. Me do a dance. Go. Up, 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 up. No excitement. Where's your ball? Where's your ball? You've lost your ball. Where's your ball? Find your ball. Where's your ball? Gotta find it. And while he's distracted, go swim over there. There we go. Treats are around, the dog's distracted. So yeah, a bit of an irritating way to start the week, but it is what it is. I've got my whooping cough vaccine tomorrow. A quiet week this week, so I'm hoping to get plenty of exercise done. This is actually my only dog walk today. It's me and these pups. Did you find it? There you go, he's happy. But this is my only dog walk today because my other dog's cancelled. So I only got the one. Thank you. Hold on, gotta find the treats now. Find treats. So nice easy day for me today. So after this walk I need to go and put some money into my bank account for my birthday because I've not had a chance to do it for now. And I also need to go see my granddad because I promised my granddad I'd go see him today. Who knows? Who knows what I'm going to do after that. I'm going to try and get some exercise done today. I did struggle with exercises yesterday because Minion was sitting in just the wrong place, and if I moved my hips in a certain direction or a certain position, it was causing electric shocks and spasming down my muscles and my glutes and my hips. And obviously I don't want a repeat of that, but I'm feeling good today. Minion seems to be in a different position and I'm not having as many hip issues today, so I'm hoping to do a little bit more exercise tonight. Hopefully I'll actually be able to complete a mobility session. I didn't get to complete my mobility session yesterday. I only did 3 or 4 exercises from it because I was just, my hips were just too shocky. Basically, they were too painful. Hopefully today I'll be able to get my mobility session done and hopefully a bit of calisthenics, see how we go from there. Another thing that's happening at the moment is I'm losing a lot of subscribers. I'm gaining some, but I'm also losing a lot of subscribers at the moment, which I expected because I know quite a few people subscribe to me for my running content and my running journey. And obviously I can't do that right now with being pregnant. It's one of those, a lot of people are unsubscribing because I'm not doing the running content that they were expecting, which is fine. I kind of expected that when the pregnancy diaries started, if the pregnancy diaries ever started, that I would be losing some subscribers that would usually subscribe to me for my fitness content and my running content. But this was never originally a running channel in general, it was just a fitness channel. And I just happened to be training for a marathon, so the running training kind of took over, and the calisthenics and mobility, which I was originally training, took a back seat. Whereas now that I'm pregnant, it's the other way around. The running training has had to go on pause. I definitely can't train for a marathon right now, and instead I'm back onto calisthenics and mobility, which is how this channel originally got going, sort of. Technically this channel originally got going with obstacle course races and things like that, but here we are again on calisthenics and mobility time. So I am tempted to try and do some push-ups while I'm here, because I've done push-ups in these woods before. However, I know that I can't even do push-ups on my knees right now because of the extra weight and lack of strength. I'm going to hold off, I'm going to resist the urge, and I'm just going to wait till I get home and do my training at home. So it's now Tuesday, and it is week 8. Oh, it's not. I'm editing week 8. It's not week 8. It's week 23, day 1. This week, your baby is the size of sweet corn. When exercising, do your best to avoid high impact activities that involve jarring movements. These put extra wear and tear on your joints and can cause the ligaments that support your joints to relax, which puts you at greater risk of injury. For this reason, it's best to take a conservative approach to workouts. Hence why I am going back to my calisthenics basics and not overdoing it. Yesterday, I had every intention of getting home from work, maybe doing a bit of video editing, spending some time with my girls, and then doing my exercise, and then playing some games or doing some crochet or whatever I felt like doing. And instead, I got home and found Jason watching Rise of the Guardians, and I absolutely love that film. It is such a good film. Feels a bit early because it is like a Christmassy type film or seasonal type film, so it did feel a bit early for it, but do you know what? I love the film. It's just got a great storyline. It's just really, really well made. So we decided to give it a watch, and we played some games while watching it. And then he straight away, because Jason always puts something on in the background when he's gaming. I don't know how he does it. He just needs to sort of stimuli at any one time. And straight after Rise of the Guardians finished, he put K-pop Demon Hunters on, which is another one of my favorites. Absolutely love that film. The songs are just, as I'm sure many of you know, because it has been, well, it's been out for a while and it's hit the top chart several times. So most people know of this film by this point, and it is an amazing film. The songs are absolutely smashing. So I ended up watching that with him while we also played some games. And then once K-pop Demon Hunters finished, it was already something like 8, 9 o'clock at night. And I was planning on coming off my computer at like 9. So I debated whether or not to do some video editing. I debated whether or not to do some exercise. And my brain was already in shutdown mode by this point. My brain was already in relax and shutdown mode, and didn't want to come off the game. So I played another hour worth of gaming, came off at about 9:45, and then went upstairs, read my book, which I'm currently reading. I'm still reading The Assassin's Blade by Sarah J. Maas. She's quickly becoming one of my favourite authors. I really, really love her stories. The Assassin's Blade took a while to get into. It took a couple of chapters. By like the 3rd mini story in the book, it got really, really good. But yeah, went to bed, read my book, and then went to sleep. And I ended up reading for about an hour and a half, I think, in total, but I ended up going to sleep. And I woke up this morning so sleepy. Happy sleepy, but sleepy. Drowsy would be more accurate. But I've woke up with plenty of energy so far. Just feeling, like I said, just a little drowsy. I think I could have done with an extra hour in bed. The weather is beautiful outside. It is gorgeously sunny. Absolutely beautifully sunny. I originally had 3 dog walks today, but because one of my dogs yesterday injured his leg over the weekend, or I found out that he injured his leg over the weekend, I now only have 2 walks today and 1 pop-in just to make sure he's okay. And I actually need to leave like now. However, Jason has a frozen food delivery coming, which is due to arrive before 11:15. Now, the chances are it's not actually going to arrive before 11:15, but I said I will stay in until at least 11 in the hope that it does get delivered. And as of yet, it's now 10 to 11 and it's still not here, which is really freaking annoying. On the plus side though, having to stay here and wait for this delivery to arrive means I've been able to get some video editing done, which is quite nice. I'm currently video editing week 8.2. I want to say week 8.2. I think it's week 8.2. I'd have to check my list. I was a ghost, I didn't know how to believe. Oh, and apparently my Huel is arriving today as well. God knows what time that's going to be here, but that's arriving today, which is nice. Between 2:30 and 3:30, I won't be here. Here are my options. Please leave in porch. Oh, what was I saying? So yeah, I've got a quiet day today, so I'm hoping that by the time I get home, that was a weird noise. Ugh. He's a mailman, and apparently Jason's been ordering bits. So yeah, that's for Jason. What the heck has he been ordering? Jason needs to go back to the address. But okay, nothing to worry about. As I was saying, I have actually got a quiet day today. However, I do also have my whooping cough vaccine later this afternoon at 4:10. So I'm gonna have everything wants me this morning. Sorry, that was my mum calling just to check up to make sure I didn't want certain bits that we left behind at the old house, which I do like that she checks that. Even though we told her just get rid of anything that's there, she still calls in and checks and double checks that I definitely don't want bits. I need to go in 5 minutes. Like I said, I've got my whooping cough vaccine this afternoon, and again, I'm not allowed to actually take you guys with me to record because we're not allowed to record in doctor's offices and stuff like that here in the UK. It is just going to be a case of updating you when I get back home. Oh, but I need to go on my walks now, so let's go walking with the dogs. It's 3:30 on Tuesday, and I am way too early for my whooping cough appointment, but I haven't eaten yet today. I haven't had my dinner yet, so I'm going to take a minute. I've just hidden myself around the back of the doctor's because I technically I'm not allowed on the car park until it's time for my appointment, or like 15 minutes before my appointment. A bit strict like that. Because of that, I needed something to eat, so I've nipped to Tesco and got myself something to eat, and now I'm just going to sit here and watch a few vlogs on YouTube, just chill until my appointment time, and then we can actually go around to get going to the appointment. Oh, Minion's a little active at the moment. He just realised that I'm eating and he's very happy. I'm assuming that's why he's happy, or why he's suddenly started moving, because in fact I'm not sure. It's like I'm trying to make note of any patterns in his behaviour or any patterns in his movement, and so far I've not actually noticed any patterns, with the exception of he does tend to be a little active in the morning, especially during my first walk. My first walk he's usually active. Sometimes, well, most of the time he is, not always, and he usually gets active around tea time and around late at night, but there's been no regularity to it. It's still been quite all over the place, so it's not easy to follow or track, because especially with my having an anterior placenta, it's a lot harder for me to feel his movements. I only really feel his movements when he's kicking around the placenta or moving on the outside of the placenta, which isn't a lot at the moment. Just every now and again I just get a random jab to the hip still, but his movements are becoming more noticeable. I'm really struggling to find a pattern at the moment with him. Anyway, I'm going to snack and eat my food, then get to my whooping cough appointment, and I will catch up with you guys when I get home. I see you. Yes, I see you. So I'm back home for my whooping cough vaccine. However, I actually have a delivery. We have had a Huel delivery and also some frozen smoothie delivery. I need to unpack that. So while I am unpacking that, I'm going to chat to you guys. So in regards to the whooping cough vaccine, the nurse did say to me that I do need to be careful tonight. I say careful is a bit of a strong word. Basically, because of the whooping cough vaccine, she said one of the things that will happen is my arm will really, really hurt tonight. And I might also get a bit of a temperature, which will only be a couple of degrees of temperature increase. But she said that it might be significant enough for me to notice. Oh, I can't do this. I can't find a comfy position, and now my foot's getting stuck under the door. It's not working already. Like I was trying to say, she did say that I was going to get a temperature at some point today, or a bit of a temperature, and that is normal, and it does mean that I might be feeling a bit off or a bit ill tonight. So she said just take tonight to rest and let the vaccine do its job. Don't worry too much about any increase in temperature or anything like that, because that is normal, it will happen. And she also said just to, with the pain in my shoulder, take it easy, don't do any strength training, don't do any heavy exercise or anything like that. Just take tonight as a rest night, which is annoying because I really wanted to do some exercise tonight. But she did say that the pain in my arm should stop after tonight/tomorrow. So I should be able to do some exercise tomorrow, and I've got actually more time available tomorrow, which would be better. But one thing I am a bit gutted about is because we have moved home, I am having to change my GP, which I've been trying to put off. but I do need to do it soon. I've got till like the end of this week to get it done. So I don't have much time left. See, this is why we need to do a freezer, because there's just not enough space. There's not enough space. So I've got to the end of the week to actually book in for my new GP, but the nurse that saw me today, she has been my nurse at that practice. So she's done my vaccines for me, she's done my smear tests, she's checked me up for any general stuff, for any female bits or any female concerns and minor colitis flares, things like that. She has been my nurse at that practice for over 20, in fact no, about 20 years now. And she said to me, this is the last time you're going to see me. And I thought to myself, well, I know that because I've moved house and I'm having to change GP practices. But you don't know that. Why is that? Why am I not going to see you again? And she said she's retiring at the end of this year. Oh, sorry, no, not the end of this year. In 10 weeks, she's retiring in 10 weeks' time. And I was like, oh my God, congratulations! Because retirement for anyone is a big deal. It's a really big deal. It's the official end, if you will, of your working career, and you get to just enjoy life to an extent. I say to an extent because my mum and dad are retired and they're currently full-time babysitters. She said she's been at the practice for 19 years. Like I said, she's been my main nurse and I've only really ever gone to her for all my stuff, so we got to know each other really well. And after 19 years at that practice, she's finally retiring, and I'm a little bit gutted, but at the same time I'm so happy for her and so glad for her. But that practice isn't going to be the same without her. She is such a ray of sunshine. She's so nice and so lovely. She makes you feel so welcome. She remembers everyone. She's such a wonderful nurse and she deserves retirement. She really does. But my God, I'm going to miss her. I am really going to miss her. And then I remember she said to me, I don't have any space left. I'm running out of space. This is the problem when Jason gets these things. We keep saying we need a second freezer and Jason's like, no, we can make it fit. Can we, Jason? Can we make it fit, can we? I would disagree with that theory, considering how much I'm having to Jenga the place right now. What was I saying? Yes, while I was there, she gave me my whooping cough and she said it also has these other vaccines in it as well. And I can't remember what the other vaccines were, but it basically meant that baby is protected in lots of ways with extra coverage and extra protection from other illnesses and stuff. Oh, that's dry ice is cold. And then just as we're about to leave, we were just finishing our chat, she said, oh, have you had your flu vaccine yet? I was like, no, I've literally just got the notification this morning to say it's even in. And I'd literally got the notification at about 12 o'clock today to say that the flu vaccine was now available. I think I mentioned it earlier in this video, I can't remember. Oh. So because I'd only just got the notification, I haven't had a chance to book in for it yet. So she said, oh, we just got it in today. Would you like it now while you've got the chance? I was like, yeah, I'll go for it. I'm not complaining. More dry ice in the sink. More dry ice for the sink. This has got to be my favourite part about dry ice. When you put it under some water to melt and it all starts smoking like a cauldron. I don't know why. It makes me feel very witchy. Very witchy. Bubble, bubble, pull into double. Look at my little cauldron go. Always, literally, just in time for Halloween, this spooky season. So she said, brilliant, I will go get it for you now. And so she nipped off just very quickly into another room, got the flu vaccine and jabbed it in my arm. So I say jabbed it in my arm. Louise is really, really good. She's been a nurse for so long. She's got the technique down for injections perfectly. So there's never any pain, there's never any stinging or anything like that. Just doop, doop, done. Took 3 seconds. And so I've now had my whooping cough vaccine and my arm is starting to hurt. And I've had my flu vaccine on that arm. So she said, because of the whooping cough vaccine, again, I'm going to have a sore arm, I'm going to get a bit of a temperature, I might feel a bit off, so just take today easy. However, with the flu vaccine, the symptoms may take a day or two to kick in, so I might start feeling a bit cold-like symptoms in the next couple of days, but it shouldn't last long, it should die down pretty quickly, so we'll see. It's been years since I had a flu vaccine because I seem to have, like, I want to say a minor immunity to it, and that's probably the wrong way to say it, but I've never had the flu. To my knowledge, I have never had the flu. I've never experienced it. I've never been diagnosed with it. I've, to my knowledge, never had it, which I'm very grateful for. And it did make me wonder whether or not I do have some kind of natural immunity to it, or some sort of immunosuppressant, or whether or not it's my immune system in general, the fact that I've got an autoimmune disease, meaning my immune system is heightened, so it's more active. I don't know. Right, 1 box down. Yeah, I've never in my life experienced the flu or had the flu. Jason has. He and the flu do not go on well. The flu does not get on well with Jason at all. Jason's vitamin drinks. In fact, last time he had the flu that we know of, he was really ill. Ha. That will be my breakfast. Yeah. If you can't tell, considering I've actually had my vaccines, I'm in a very good spirit today. I actually have quite a bit of energy. I'm a lot more energetic than I was this morning. I'm feeling good. The vaccine seems to have done the opposite effect. But yeah, Jason and the flu do not do well, so I think the flu vaccine is going to be very important with me for baby's sake, because if baby has, or if Minion has, a similar reaction to what his dad has when his dad has the flu, whew, he'll definitely need the protection. Anyway, that's 2 vaccines down. I want to say I need to get my COVID vaccine, but I've not had any notification to say that COVID vaccines are actually taking place this year, so I don't even know if they're going to be a thing. However, I do know I have to have my RSV vaccine at 28 weeks, which is 5 weeks away. Paper, so much paper for the girl. More Huel, more breakfast, brilliant. And no, this is not sponsored. This is just what I eat. I have Huel mac and cheese every morning for my breakfast. And Jason often gets the chicken and mushroom and the pasta bolognese for at work because they're just very, very handy. They're fully nutritionally balanced, which means that every morning I'm getting all the nutrients I actually need without having to compromise on, without having to compromise on flavour. I do often have to add cheese to them in the morning because otherwise they just taste like cardboard. They don't taste like cardboard, they taste better than cardboard. But you know what I mean, they could taste better. And they have sometimes they're lacking in flavour. So I always put a bit of cheese in mine in the morning. That is how my afternoon has gone. Considering the nurse has told me to take tonight as a rest day, which I'm a little annoyed about. But I have already done 10,000 steps today. So I'm going to take her advice, let myself rest. Instead do a shed ton of video editing because I didn't do any last night, as I said. So I need to get it done today. But that is then for another day. So that is another day of you guys having to put up with my blabber. Hopefully it's been slightly more interesting these last couple of days with me doing more vlog-esque type thing. And like I said, I do promise I will be getting my exercises done. Hopefully at some point this week. It's just I am under doctor's recommendation or medical recommendation to take tonight easy with the whole vaccine thing. So I guess I'll see you guys in the morning. One doggy, 2 doggy. Erin. Hi Erin. Hello everyone, it is Wednesday. So yesterday was a little unsuccessful. I woke up in the morning and my arm was really hurting from the whooping cough vaccine, and I've actually got a nice little lump on it this morning which is hurting even more than it did yesterday. It's not the end of the world, it's not too painful, but anytime I move my arm in certain ways I can certainly feel it. I definitely can't get my arm above my head right now. Unfortunately I didn't get a chance to do any exercise yesterday, and yesterday I also had a very low energy day. I was knackered yesterday, I was struggling. So I think baby was going through a bit of a growth spurt which was causing the exhaustion. So as a result I didn't end up doing any vlogging or any exercise yesterday because I was just too tired and my arm was too sore to actually do any upper body work. Now I'm trying to get myself out of this mindset where just because my arm isn't able to be used doesn't mean I can't do something with my legs. And at the moment my brain is going, well, if you're injured you shouldn't exercise. Pardon me, you shouldn't exercise at all, which is not the case. If it is your arm that's injured, you can still do stuff with your back, you can still do stuff with your legs or your abs. Granted, I can't really do abs at the moment with baby, but you can still do things. So I'm trying to get out of that mindset. Just hope I'm not to blind you guys. And it's a really difficult mindset to get out of because you don't really think about it per se. You just go, oh well, I've got an injury, I can't really do much at the moment. It's just that fact, but it's not. Because it's my arm that's out of action, I can still do leg work. So the hope at the moment is to still do some leg work when I get home from work today. In other news, today is a very sad day in some ways and a very happy day in some ways. I'm losing 2 of my dogs today. One being Desi, who you can see off in the distance. He is, unfortunately, Today is his last walk because he is one of my big on-lead pulley dogs. And for my own safety, for baby's safety, as Bump gets bigger and I start losing my balance more and more, I can't have any of the dogs on that pull me quite heavily. And unfortunately, he has to be on lead because he's a hunter. He tends to hunt ducks and mice and rabbits and all sorts, so he has to be on lead for like 90% of the walk. So unfortunately, for my own safety, he is going to be leaving me today, as is Alfie. Alfie is my big fox terrier, cross bloodhound, cross basset hound, cross everything else hound you can think of, and he is another one that's unfortunately leaving me today. Today is his last walk as well, for the same reason. He's a permanent on lead boy because he can't be trusted to not say hello to other dogs, and unfortunately he does pull like crazy. He's my worst puller, and if he wants to go somewhere or look at something or sniff something, he will quite literally drag me. Like drag me. So I can't have that as I get bigger and as the pregnancy continues. My own safety, I am having to stop walking him today. Today is his last walk. I did give their owners 2 months notice, so they have plenty of time to find and source alternative dog walkers. And it does mean my walk's about to get quieter and I'm about to get even less income every month. But I would rather put the safety of myself and baby first, or especially little minion. Their safety is definitely my priority. So it's a bit of a bittersweet sad day. However, like I said, even though my arm is sore, I do have energy today. I'm not having an exhausted day, I'm having a good day. So because of that, I do intend to do some exercises when I get home. At least that's the plan. The plan is to do some exercises when I get home. I'm mainly going to focus on leg work today. Leg work, core work, back work, or as much core work as I can do with being pregnant. So your planks and your things like that, the safe ab exercises for pregnancy, and see how we get on. Hopefully we won't get on too badly. So it is now week 23, day 4, aka Friday, and I'm exhausted today. I am literally shattered. Hi Enzo, did you get the ball off Coco? Well, guess what? I'm having that. My ball now. Yeah, no, my ball now. You can go play find the treat. No, I'm not throwing it. So as I was trying to say, I am extremely tired today. I've already had a nap this morning. I literally planned on leaving the house at 10 o'clock, and then at 10:05 I was having a full-on energy crash and having a power nap until 10:45, and even then I struggled to get up from that power nap. I was so tired. So I have a feeling baby's going through a growth spurt, and it could also potentially be a side effect of the vaccine still, because we're still within that first 5-day period of having my vaccines. But it's hard to say. I don't know. I honestly don't know. I can only assume at this point that it is caused by a growth spurt from baby, because it is. I have had 2 or 3 good days where I really should have done my exercise during those 2-3 days, because I'm exhausted now. I really am. But I am actually going to do some stretches while I am here out with the dogs. But I'm actually going to do something slightly different at this point, because it's something I want to try and do more of, which is talk to you guys while I'm exercising, which is easier said than done because I don't have a microphone or anything like that. So basically my hips are really hurting, like really hurting, and apparently that's actually really common in week 23. And I also am a bit annoyed with myself, the fact that I've missed exercise or not done any exercise over the last few days when I could have. So I am actually going to talk and explain what's going on while doing some stretching here in the woods, because my god, I need to stretch right now. So the reason I actually really need to do some stretching at the moment is because my hips are extremely sore, especially at night and especially when I'm walking, and this is apparently very common for week 23. Week 23 is when the relaxin really kicks in, and it really starts to affect your hips. It starts to affect your mobility, and then baby putting pressure on your hips as well doesn't help, as well as the additional weight gain. It is recommended that during week 23 you do actually do some light exercise and also some form of stretching, just to help with the movement and mobility, because it's around this time when the relaxin really kicks in, and your hips and your knees and your joints start getting a lot more supple, and they also start relaxing the ligaments and the joints around those areas to allow for when you are ready to give birth. Now the problem is this can cause a few issues, especially when you do have to actually walk around on a day-to-day basis. It is very important to get some exercises and some stretches done in these areas, just to make sure that they don't go extra stiff or start getting loose from the extra movement. And unfortunately, I am experiencing a lot of hip pain, a heck of a lot of hip pain right now. Both today and yesterday, the hip pain really started to kick in, and I have noticed it even more during my sleep. And I've also started getting leg cramps in my sleep as well, which is really not helping. Because of that, I do need to really start focusing in and getting these exercises done, because I cannot stand this goddamn hip pain and leg cramping at night, especially during the day when I'm trying to walk and I've just got pain in my hips constantly. It's not nice. So while the dogs are busy playing find the treat, I'm just going to get some exercises done, get a bit of a stretch on, and just try and hopefully ease the pain just a little bit. So there we go, that's just some hip movement done. That only took maybe 2-3 minutes, if that, and already my hips feel a little less painful. All I did then was just do whatever my body felt like doing. It's just my body told me what direction it wanted to move in, my body told me what way it wanted to stretch, so I just let it do what it wanted to do. Now I'm just going to have 5 minutes, because even that 5 minutes made me a bit breathless, which I'm putting down to the exhaustion. Oh yeah, oh gosh. Then I have 2 more minutes here with the dogs, and then it'll be time to start heading back and do one more walk. We've only got one more walk left to do today, and then we get to go home and rest. Well, as for last night, the reason I didn't get my exercises done last night is because I didn't end up getting home until really late at night. So I didn't end up having time to exercise. By the time I'd actually got home, put my parrots to bed, got some tea and everything else, there was just no time left. So hopefully, so long as I've got the energy, I might be able to do some tonight instead.
Or chicken. Get one of each.